Hey everybody, it's Alex at Motoroso.com, and in this video we're going to be taking a close-up look at all of the A-pillar light systems from Baja Designs for the brand new full-size Ford Bronco. Now this is a great place for mounting lights on your Bronco. It sits at the base of that A-pillar between the mirror and the windshield, and it's a great location for ditch lighting or throwing lighting way up the road or trail. And they make these kits in 10 different configurations, and that's a lot to choose from, and it can get a little bit confusing. So this video is going to break it all down for you, help you understand exactly what your options are, and help you make your decisions. Now we're also going to do a quick installation guide video to show you how easy it is to install, and we're also going to get some night shots and show you just how bright these things are. Now as usual, we're going to put links to all of the products in the description of the video. Those links will take you over to Motoroso.com, where you can shop for these and millions of other products, and there you can reach us on live chat or call us anytime at 833-MOTOROSO. Now, before we talk about the variants here, let's talk about Baja Designs, because they're one of the earliest innovators of off-road lighting technology, and their products were born out of the harshest conditions you can imagine, trophy truck racing on the Baja Peninsula. And these things have to be durable because the racers are literally putting their lives on the line, and that's why I can confidently say these things are probably going to outlast your Bronco, and I know they're going to outperform the competition. Now, you can also swap the lenses on here. That means you can change the lighting with the different beam patterns to meet your exact needs. And despite being swappable lenses, they're still waterproof and submersible, which means that they're not going to build up moisture inside, and they're even serviceable if you do happen to need to do anything. The housings are made out of aluminum, again, making them tough but also light, and they have heat sinks to help pull the heat away from all that intense heat that's being generated off these LEDs. And that's why they're able to offer a lifetime warranty with this product, so that you know that you can rely on them. Now, there's 10 different kits to choose from, but it's really only 5, because each of the 5 kits come in 2 different wiring configurations. First is their toggle switch, which is literally a toggle switch that has to be mounted somewhere, or their Upfitter harness. And their Upfitter harness wires into OEM auxiliary switches, which almost every Bronco has. So in reality, you're most likely looking for the Upfitter switch, unless you want that toggle switch for some reason that I can't imagine. So there's 5 kits to choose from, really. Then those 5 options break down into 2 major groupings. First, the Squadrons, which are a 3x3 pod and come in 2 different light outputs, or in the XL, which is a 4.5 inch by 4.5 inch pod and comes in 3 different light output levels. And your main decision factor here is going to be which size do you like, but there's a little bit of performance differentiation with the XL as well. Let's start with the 2 options in these Squadrons. Like I said, these are a 3x3 light, and they come in either a Squadron Sport or a Squadron Pro. The Squadron Sports are 26 watts and 3150 lumens each, for a total of 6,300 lumens for the pair, and the Squadron Pros are 40 watts and 4,600 lumens for a total of 9,200 lumens total light output from the pair. So that's your 2 options on the Squadrons, and over here on the XLs you then have 3 options. This is going to come in the XL Sport, the XL Pro, and the XL80. Now the XL Sport is the same light output as the Squadron Sport. It's 26 watts, 3,150 lumens each, for a total of 6,300 lumens from the pair. The XL Pro is also the same as the Squadron Pro, 40 watts and 4,600 lumens per light, for a total of 9,200 lumens from the pair. Now on the XLs, you also have the option of going up to the XL80, thanks to the larger housing and the better ability to dissipate heat. And that's going to be an 80 watt light and 9,500 lumens per light. That's 19,000 lumens from the pair on that A-pillar. That is a ton of light. The XL also does have a unique dimming feature. It's on a 3-wire connector, and the green connector can be hooked up to a grounded switch that allows you to dim the light by 20%. It's not a feature we plan to use, but it's there if you want it. Now, one of the things they're doing with this A-pillar kit that I really like is they're including all 3 versions of their lenses, allowing you to change lenses out and customize exactly the beam pattern that you want. It's going to come with their spot lenses, which are clear and going to send light way up the road. It's going to come with their wide cornering lenses, which is full diffusion, sending the light everywhere, and their driving combo lens, which is a half and half spot and wide cornering, and it gives you the best of both worlds, and by far their most popular lens. Now, in addition, you can purchase separately all of these lights in their amber yellow lens, which is best if you're going to be doing any sort of snow or icy conditions. The white light doesn't do much for you in the snow, but the yellow is going to give you that better performance in the snow. So just know that you can purchase those separately. Now, regarding all the brackets and hardware and wiring, everything Everything you need to install these is included in the kit, of course, and we're going to show you how to do that installation up next. But before we do, of course, we're going to put links to everything in the description. So if you'd like to buy one of these kits, check out those links. Those will take you over to Motoroso.com, where you can reach us on live chat or call us toll free at 1-833-MOTOROSO. Now let's dig into our install. Before mounting your A-pillar lights, you'll want to install your desired lenses. You can change them after they're on the vehicle, but it's easier to do before the install, and it reduces the risk of contamination getting inside the light pod. Changing the lenses is easy. First, remove the four 2.5mm Allen bolts on the lens cover plate, and then remove it. Then carefully remove the lens and replace with the desired lens, making sure the O-ring seal is firmly seated in place. Simply reinstall the top plate, securing the four 2.5mm Allen bolts and making sure the orientation is right with the logo facing the direction you want it. Now install the mounting brackets to the light. With the supplied hardware, slide a single washer onto each mounting bolt. Then feed a single bolt through the bracket with a second washer between the bracket and the light pod and loosely thread the bolt into the light pod. Install the remaining three hardware the same way and then use an 11mm socket to gently snug all the hardware. You don't have to over tighten these. Now let's prepare the A-pillar mounting plates. You're going to need to attach the supplied rubber padding to the bottom of the plates. This makes sure that it provides vibration damping and protects the plastic on your Bronco. To start, clean the surface of the plate with rubbing alcohol and then remove the adhesive backing from the rubber strip and place it to cover as much of the bracket as possible. Now trim the excess around the edges, and this doesn't have to be perfect. Make sure to cut small holes for the hardware to slide through. On the Bronco A-pillar, start by removing the antenna on the passenger side. Next, remove the two Torx bolts on the A-pillar. For some reason they use two different Torx sets. One is a T30 and the other is T25, but the threads are the same. Use a panel lever to pry up the cowl panel, giving yourself a little room to work with. Using a rag to protect the windshield, rest the light pod there with enough room to feed the wiring through into the engine bay. The wiring should go underneath the lowermost point where the cowl meets the windshield, and the connector should come out at the inside of the hood hinge. Now you can press the cowl panel back in place and install the Baja Designs mounting plate with the curved edge matching the front edge of the cowl panel. Use the two supplied 4mm Allen bolts and fully tighten. Make sure to click the cowl tabs back into place to make sure everything sits flush. Now you can mount your light pod by setting the bracket over the stud and using the supplied washer and 10mm nylon lock nut to firmly secure, but not so tight that the bracket can't be rotated. With this light installed, you can reinstall the antenna and repeat the installation process for the driver's side light pod. With both light pods installed, we'll move on to installing the wiring harness. Start by identifying the ends of the splitter. Connect the splitter to the passenger side A-pillar light first, and then route the splitter harness to the driver's side along the firewall, making sure to avoid anything hot, sharp, or rotating. Use zip ties to secure the wiring all along the way. Connect the splitter to the driver's side light pod and coil up any excess and zip tie it out of the way. Now the Upfitter harness supplied by Baja Designs is extremely long, and instead of coiling it up and tucking it in the engine bay as well, we decided to shorten the length of the harness to a much more manageable size. The best way to do this is with a soldering iron, but we used butt connectors and then sealed everything with electrical tape. To do this, simply cut off the ends of each wire and reconnect to the corresponding wires. With your new harness ready, you can connect it to the splitter harness. Then connect the grounding wire to the common ground on the driver's side firewall above the OEM auxiliary wires on this 8mm bolt. Lastly, locate the group of auxiliary wires and connect the clip connector to your preferred auxiliary switch. The wire colors in this diagram correspond to the switches on your OEM switch panel. We decided to use switch number 2, which is the green and brown wire. We're reserving number 1 for our roof light bar. Now test to make sure your A-pillar lights are working properly and you're finished with your install. Capturing video at night can be pretty challenging and doesn't really do justice to just how powerful these lights are. I really think you have to experience them to believe them. So we popped the GoPro on the Bronco and we drove around using our OEM low beams, OEM high beams, and then flipping on those A-pillars, you can see just a dramatic increase in the amount of light, especially with these wide cornering lenses. It really helps to light up the sides of the road and spread light out so that you can capture road signs, curves coming up in the roads, or potential hazards like animals about to cross the road. Again, these lights have to be experienced to be believed, but we really see a massive improvement in the spread of light coming off of our XL Pros. All right, we hope you found this video helpful, both in picking the kit that you want and how to install it. Now, if you'd like to check these out, head on over to the links in the video description. Those will take you to Motoroso.com where you can buy these kits, and you can reach us on live chat there or call us toll-free at 833-MOTOROSO. Now, check out this video right over here to check out the Baja Designs Fog Pocket Kit for the Bronco. If you've got that modular steel bumper, super clean design, a ton of light output, and again, tons of options to choose from. We think you'll like that as well. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos.